get very hung up, women in general get very hung up on weight loss, and actually muscle weighs much more than fat. So often your weight will not change, or it can actually go up. And you're looking better than you've ever looked. You're fitting into clothes that you haven't fitted into for a long, long time, but your weight is higher. That's nothing. I don't want women to get very hung up on weight as such. It's tone and how the body looks. Because as I say, if muscle weighs more than fat and you're converting muscle to fat to muscle, of course you're going to actually, either stay the same or even put on weight. So really, mum should be more concerned with how they're fitting into clothes and how they're feeling than the weight that the scale represents.
Do you ever recommend to... Sorry, Valeska, go ahead.
No, I was just that she was talking about muscle mass, and it just reminded me right away. I remember right before I got pregnant with my second son, I got to the point, like, forget it, I'm just going to hire a personal trainer. And I remember she asked me, what's your goal? How much do you want to lose? I go, honestly, I'm not going to base my success on how much I lost. I don't care about how much weight I'm losing. I really just care how I look. So that just reminded me, that just clicked when you said that, Jay.
And it's great that you realize that. So many women don't, and they get really upset if they're a pound over. But as I say, when they're telling us at the same time they're fitting into clothes sizes 2 times smaller, there it is. That's
when you know it's working, yeah. That's motivating. I mean, to be able to fit back in your clothes, definitely.
And it's not all just physical, the feeling you have about yourself, that's something that you've achieved. Exercise is one of the few things in life that we kind of have some control over, our body. We put the effort in and we straight away start to see some results as long as we're putting the effort in. So that's a really good feeling. I mean, I know being a mom, we've got so many things to deal with that often you kind of lose the why in everything you're doing. But this is one of those moments that's really about you. You're doing something for yourself, and you've accomplished something. You can feel good about it. You've achieved something. I think that's really important too.
Yes, that's definitely a good point.
That's a great point. It goes back to the goal setting, the specific goal setting point I made earlier. So when you do set a goal and you do set a date and you do achieve it, reward yourself. Find something that you really want. Find a great new pair of skinny jeans, or a night out with the girlfriends, or whatever it is. Give yourself a reward. Set small incremental goals so that you can feel that success, feel what it feels like to achieve the goal, and then keep moving forward.
Yeah, that's.
See, I'd want to reward myself with a big fat cream cake.
The funny thing is, though, that's the good thing about building habits. Even if you change your eating habits, once you start eating better, and of course it takes a little while, after a while you no longer want to eat the bad food because you've conditioned your body to actually start to like things. They say something about with taste. If you eat something 6 times, by the 6th time you can go from hating it to actually quite enjoying it. If you keep on like that, your body starts to change and only wants the good stuff. But it's just sticking with it. And I always find what works when it comes to nutrition is that if you give yourself 6 days of eating really well and 1 day as your cheat day, after a while, by the time you get to your 7th day, you've eaten so well, you've done so great, that you actually don't want to cheat anyway. But by allowing yourself that day, it keeps you on track, and you've got a goal to, I've only got 3 more days and I can do what I want. And then by the time that comes, you actually usually don't want to eat badly anyway.
That's a good point. 2 things, because I love chocolate chip cookies, so that's my weakness. And definitely, I was thinking that would be a good little treat for a cheat day. Someone's gonna go out and have a cocktail with girlfriends or whatever. Is that considered their cheat day? Like, I don't know. I'm just opening it up as far as what have you seen. I've noticed sometimes, for example, like they get soda instead of cranberry or something like that. Like they switch out like their recipes whenever they go out for a cocktail.
Absolutely. I mean, we all have different things. You like chocolate chip cookies, another person might like chocolate chip brownies, another person a burger, whatever their thing is. They're trying to eat clean for 6 days, and whatever that represents to them, if that means no soda, no burgers, no chocolate chip cookies, whatever that is, on the cheat day, the thing they really like, they're going to allow themselves to have. And as I say, usually it's 1 or 2 bites, and you're like, you know what, it was good, I'm glad I had it, but I've put in so much work for 6 days, I don't even want it,
Yeah. That's true.
Somebody once told me there's nothing tastes as good. I think it was as being thin, but I think I'll change that to as being healthy.
Yeah,
nothing tastes as good as being healthy.
Yeah, because it's
not just you can visualize yourself overcoming those obstacles. Like for me, I set myself up to succeed by by knowing that those obstacles are going to be there today. You know, at 5, when I'm clearing the kids' plates for dinner, I can visualize myself not finishing the macaroni and cheese on their plate, because I know it's going to feel better to feel healthy than to actually take those few bites of macaroni and cheese. I visualize it. I anticipate the obstacles that are going to come my way and prepare for them.
And if you just take the moment to waste
have a bad habit, and it's funny, I learned it from my mom. I remember seeing her do it too. I hate throwing away food, and I just have this habit where if the kids didn't eat theirs, then I'll eat it so that I'm not throwing away the food. But that's terrible, because now I'm just adding more calories to myself. So I just have to maybe just get in the habit of just storing it up and then, you know, keeping it for the next day or something as a leftover. But it's interesting how you're saying with the visualization and making sure that doesn't happen. That also brings to the next point. You know, I'm very big on that, like visualizing success. So it's definitely getting into that mindset again of visualizing yourself, you know, eating healthy or whatever, exercising, you know, again, making that shift. So I like that a lot, that you're bringing that, you know, that spiritual element to it as well.
Yeah, and if you do mess up, move on. Don't beat yourself up about it. We all, you know, no one is perfect, you know.
Sure.
We're good enough. We're good enough, and just move forward. Don't look back.